these guys were standing on the back of the wall. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get kicked out. And so I just found myself got into the crowd and found some people that saw us before, and they're all stoked on us. They kind of just like guarded me.
Yeah, they guarded.
I'm Adam. This podcast is about you guys and your journey in music and how you got to where you are now. We'll talk about the new EP, and we can talk about San Diego because I was born and raised there. And yeah. So, yeah, actually, I used to work for 91X in San Diego. I was telling Amy, used to play your record. You guys were like our local break artists when I was there.
You remember Tim Piles?
Oh yeah. It's funny. Funny story about Tim Piles is he was the reverend at my wedding when my wife and I got married. He married us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so Tim Piles. Wow.
It was hilarious. So we went to the Coachella as a radio station, and we were and somehow I don't know how it came up, but he's like, oh yeah, I have my card to marry people, and I'm like, no way. And he's like, yeah, I do. I was gonna marry my friends, and then they like ended up going and get eloping, and I was like, dude, you're marrying my Tara and I, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he ended up doing it.
Oh my gosh. Well, Tim Piles is the first person that's ever put us on any radio. We literally were like listening on that really late on a Sunday night, hearing our song, Tim Piles, local,
That's so rad.
Man, that's crazy. What a roundabout.
Yeah, I love that, man. He's so cool. And that's so cool that you guys, share that with him as well. Awesome. So from San Diego, why don't you introduce yourself so everybody knows who's who?
I'm Luke.
I'm Cole.
Cool. Awesome. And yeah, and so are you all from the same area of San Diego? Like, why don't you each tell me where you're raised?
Yeah, all from San Diego. I was born and raised in San Marcos, so a little more inland North County.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Wicadia and Encinitas area.
Okay.
And I was born and raised in Escondido, and then just recently moved to Oceanside.
Oh, cool. Right on. Yeah, my in-laws live in Escondido. My wife and I are both from Rancho Penasquitos, and we lived in Rancho Bernardo. And yeah.
There's so many people that are connected to San Diego. I swear, every time we're some sort of connection. But that's crazy. You lived yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty much my whole life. I moved to San Francisco for 5 years to do radio up there. But yeah, San Diego, man, I know about it. But
right now? Are you?
In March we moved to Nashville, so we're in Tennessee now. So
cool.
But this is a very new venture for us. So I can tell it's San Diego with that overcast weather behind you too.
Yeah, we're in June gloom or whatever. So hopefully it's getting a little bit better in next month.
Right on. Yeah. So Dawson, how'd you get into music?
I started just playing in church. It's kind of the only place you're 9 years old and somebody will throw you on a stage, and it kind of makes sense.
Sure.
So I went up there on the worship band and would just play a guitar not plugged in and just out of tune and awful. But yeah, I kind of started that route, and I just started singing because I was playing guitar, and somebody was like, yo man, you can kind of sing all right. And that kind of spiral, and then I did a school singing competition or whatever, and wow. I just stuck with it and just kept learning instruments and stuff. But that's how I started, got my start in singing and music, I guess.
So about 10, 11, how old were you when you learned guitar?
Yeah, I started learning probably 10, I think, 10 with guitar, and then from it just trying to sing songs with it. And then so 10, 11, I did this little weird album that my grandparents funded.
Really?
Local studio when I was 11. Nobody go look that up, please.
I was gonna ask, is it on?
No.
I'm sure you have a copy of it.
I have a ton. I didn't sell any of them, so there's just a box in my parents' garage, and there's just still 200 albums that were never sold. Maybe I don't know, but I kind of don't want anybody to hear them. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Luke? How'd you get into music?
Yeah, similar in the church way of kind of doing it. I really wanted to play drums growing up, but my mom said I had to learn piano first. And so still haven't gone around to drums, but played piano and then kind of moved to guitar, and then now playing bass because the band needed it. And so, yeah, man, music's just always been a part of my life. My dad played and my sister played, so just being around it kind of influenced me to do it as well.
Rad. What did your dad play professionally, or is it just like
No, he just played Blackbird like 1,000 times over and over. I didn't even know.
At least he played a cool song.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Could have been
know.
worse.
I know. I didn't even know it was a Beatles song. I just knew it was a song that he played all the time, and that was really annoying after 675.
Oh, that's amazing. What about you, Cole? How'd you get into music?
I got into music. I started learning guitar like in like 3rd grade or something. And I've just always been around like some music people, going to shows and stuff, and then kind of just fell in love with playing guitar and wanted to join bands. That's kind of, I guess, where I started.
Rad. When did you start joining bands? Was it in high school, or was Almost Monday kind of the first?
No, yeah, I did a few like just kind of high school kid bands starting when I like literally just started guitar. So really not great bands, but
Step forward, lads.
but they're like
Sure.
yeah, just playing local shows around just for fun and getting some time in on playing guitar in a band. So
That's amazing. And then how did you guys all meet?
Yeah, Luke and I kind of grew up in the same
Yeah,
young-
San Marcos, Escondido, pretty close.
Yeah. So we've been friends for like quite a while. So we were always playing again, like in that church thing, and kind of just trying to figure it out.
Did you guys go to the same church or just knew each other? Oh, there you go.
That's kind of the way you like make friends outside of school too. So we were both
Sure.
And then when we got in high school, I feel like we wanted to actually start a band, and like we actually wanted to like throw shows and like invite our friends to it. And I met Cole through surfing, like through a mutual friend. Like I just met him out in the water, and then he had like told me that he plays guitar, and that's right around the same time Luke and I were like, let's start something, like let's I don't know, let's just start writing songs and playing music. And so we like asked Cole, like, do you want to do this band with us? And did that in high school and stuck it out college, and now we're here with you. So
was it Almost Monday when you guys started it?
It was called the Mondays when we started it. For
Okay.
like 2 weeks. It was called the Mondays. Our friend, we just didn't know what to call ourselves at all. It's like kind of a hard thing to do that I don't know if a lot of people realize. Like naming your band is so stressful.
Oh, dude, you gotta own it forever, right?
Yeah, exactly. And number one, because like all of the names are already like taken. You'll just like Google like, oh, this is a cool band name, and then they're on Spotify, and it's like
They have like 6 plays.
yeah, but it's still like so we were the Mondays, and then we couldn't be that, so we landed on Almost Monday because we couldn't be the Mondays, so we're Almost Monday, and we just stuck with it. We never
Solid name. It really isn't. It's not like it's a terrible name.
Yeah, hopefully we just put out good music and the band name becomes cool, I guess.
Sure. I remember, when I was familiar with you guys through Mr. Tim Piles.
Yeah.
It was. Didn't you guys open up for Switchfoot like at Del Mar or something like that? I remember there's an image of you guys, like I think maybe your like press photo at the time was you guys playing like the Del Mar, like the actual Del Mar Stadium in the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that was our first like I'd say like big show where we like pulled up, and it was the first show that we looked out and there was too many faces that you couldn't like focus on a face. It was like the first like, oh my gosh, getting out there and being like, this is overwhelming. But yeah, we kind of knew the Switchfoot guys, and they let us open for them at Del Mar Fairgrounds. It was so sick.
Wow. Okay. So how do you get to, did you meet them like going through the church, or like, how did you meet the guys in Switchfoot? Like, how did that relationship?
Cole kind of, you like, knew them, right? Through.
I've known John Foreman for a while, just through a family friend. And then we kind of just started the band, and he was just like, I don't remember. How do we?
Well, I worked in, you knew them. And then I, in high school, started working in their like studio, like packaging their albums.
Oh,
like,
cool.
And sending them out. Those were so fun. Like just cool music people, like being around them. And I don't know if you've ever like met them. They're like the best people.
Oh, they're such the sweethearts. Yeah. I interviewed Drew for this podcast, and but not John Foreman, but I've met John Foreman so many times just through radio in San Diego.
They're just the best dudes ever. So I was working for them and just sending out their albums, like thousands of albums, and in their little like packaging room. So we kind of knew them like naturally. And I remember yeah, a guy who was working with them just like called me and was like, hey, like the guys want you to open. And I remember I was at a football game and I was like actually like freaking out, like, no way. And I called these guys immediately. But it was like the first proper show we did that was like not us just calling everybody we knew and being like, pull up, like, please come to our show at Univ. So that was really a special show.
That's amazing. Well, I want to talk about it a little bit more here in a second, but what were the early shows? Were you playing like, I'm trying to think, like I'm trying to think like when I was growing up, the local venues that are probably not even around anymore. I mean, like Epicenter was a big one that I think that's closed, and like the Scene in Claremont was the thing for a minute. And like, were you guys playing any local shows?
Yeah, we were playing. I mean, we kind of did the rounds of like all San Diego, like multiple Casbah.
Okay.
Soda bar.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Like, I don't, like, because if you were underage at the time, I didn't know if you could play like Soda Bar. Or...
Well, that's how we even played any shows. Is actually our friend like John Humphrey had a surf shop. Do you remember Univ in Encinitas? Do you ever kind of?
I never. Maybe if I saw it.
Center over in Encinitas. Anyway, it's some surf shop, and in the back of it, there was just an open like little venue space that he kind of just like makeshift venue. So that's
cool.
All of our shows, and that was the way that we could invite people because none of us were 21, and all of our friends weren't. So that he was great to let us have a place to play. Because North County doesn't have like a ton of. I'm sure you know, like everything's sort of down, like Casbah,
like North Park. Yeah, exactly.
So we were super stoked to get a place to play.
That's so cool. There's not even a whole lot of all age venues in San Diego anymore. I mean, unless you're a bigger band, there's like House of Blues or Soma. Does Soma do side stage anymore? I don't even know.
There's just none in North County.
Yeah. Just none in North County.
It was like Poorhouse, but that's about it.
Soma. Oh my gosh, so many good memories.
Yeah, the side stage there was rad. That used to be pretty supportive of local bands.
For sure.
So you were doing a lot at the surf shop, and then your next show was playing Del Mar.
Yeah, we had done that, and another cool one. I remember we got to open for Foster the People at Soda Bar, actually through like a 91X thing. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, they did that. They did that little pop-up show. I forgot it, and they did all covers, right?
Yeah, and we played all covers. Yeah, and me and Cole got kicked out. We weren't 21, and Luke somehow like the security guard. What did you like?
These guys were standing on the back of the wall. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get kicked out. And so I just found myself got into the crowd and found some people that saw us before, and they're all stoked on us. They kind of just like guarded me.
Yeah, they guarded. And me and Cole, the security guard, he was so nice because we were like talking to him before. He's like, hey guys, like, I'm sorry, you gotta go. And we were so bummed, but we like met those guys after. And I forget the other local band we played with. It's something benches, Ignite Benches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ignite Benches. Okay, I remember that band.
We both got to like open for Foster, and I remember that was great. So those two shows I like can think of in San Diego just being like really cool. Like,
yeah, because I remember Tim Piles told me, he goes, "You guys played the Casbah," and John Foreman showed up, and he like called me. I was on the air at the time, and he goes, "Dude, John Foreman is at the Casbah. Like, what is happening?"
Adam, that is a really funny story because we played the Casbah at like 11 or something. Like it was pretty late for us, and not 21. And I remember the only people other than like Cole's dad and like maybe like my mom or something was John Foreman was there, and then our buddy Tyson Matzenbacher, who's an amazing artist around here, really great, and then our buddy Bumper. And it was just three dudes. And I remember Tim Piles just freaking out. I was like, man, there wasn't a lot of people there at all, but John Foreman was there.
Right. Yeah. He called me at work. He's like, dude, Almost Monday just played. And John Foreman he's like at the Casbah. And it was like a Monday night or something. I think it might have been. And he's like, he like got out of bed to come and see you guys. Like
helped us get a spin on radio from him. So thank you, John, for being the only person coming to our show.
That's a pretty good get, though. A Grammy award-winning artist comes to your show at the Casbah of all places.
We didn't pull a lot of people, but we pulled a Grammy winner. That's
right. Cool. That's all that really matters. And your band rules. So there you go. So, okay. So after you started getting, 91X is playing your record a little bit and you're getting these big shows, like what was the next like opportunity for you guys?
Yeah, we started working with this guy named Mark Needham, who's done some like amazing like mixing work for like the Killers, has some stuff with like Fleetwood, really iconic dude. And we sent him our stuff, very like cold email, because we're just so naive to like how things work. We just like looked up who mixed like Hot Fuss. We needed somebody to mix our thing, so we just emailed like needham@info.com. And like got an email from like his assistant or whatever and was like, he'll take a look at this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, he ended up liking some of the demos, I guess, and came to see us actually at that surf shop Univ. And from there, I remember him saying, you guys need to keep working on your songs, blah, 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 blah. And we invited him to another show. Long story short, we ended up working with him and he kind of helped us like introduce us to people in LA and kind of in the music world that helped, really kickstart us to, making this thing, more than just like a high school, thing. So,
so he helped like mix and put together your EP.
Yeah. And he introduced us to our producer that we still work with on all of our music, Simon Ostcraft, one of my best friends, kind of like an older brother, but so amazing, super talented. But he connected us with Simon, who helped us write all of the music that would help us, like get a manager and like get, sign things like that. So he kind of helped get the ball rolling for us, I guess.
And then you guys ended up signing with Hollywood Records.
Yep.
And what was that? Must have been huge. What a big moment that must have been.
Yeah, sort of another just funny story. We knew that our A&R was gonna come to the show to like kind of look at us and like listen and whatnot, and we knew they were maybe like interested, and he came to this show that we played in Santa Monica, and there was like no mixing board. It was literally just these high school kids throwing this show in an airplane hangar in Santa Monica, like no mixer board. Like these people, they just didn't really know like what. So we kept telling Mark, like, dude, tell Mike not to come to this show. We're going to be terrible. Like, we're going to sound bad. And he ended up coming, and the show was actually really cool. Like, the crowd was dope. I just think it sounded not good. But Mike came, and we, I think he liked the music and stuff, and it kind of started our relationship with them. So that was interesting.
And what year did that happen? Because I mean, we were playing you guys, what was that, 2017? Or that Foster the People show had to be around 2017, right?
Yeah.
So, then what would it have been like when you guys signed to the Hollywood Records? Is that pretty, I mean, within the last couple of years?
2019. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
So like right kind of before the pandemic hits, like tell me where you were when that all came crashing down.
Yep. Right before the pandemic, we had signed, we did this tour to kind of just like just start playing shows, and then we in January 2020 we were going out on the road with AJR.
Oh wow. And they just blew up too.
Oh yeah, man. And we didn't really know who, like, we knew of their songs, like oh yeah, that song, but we didn't really realize how big they were. So we like got the supporting slot, and we were super stoked to just be touring outside of the Casbah.
Right.
And yeah, we played Aragon Ballroom, like sold out, the Anthem in DC, and we were just blown away. Those shows were so sick, and we had like a full run with those guys. And then in the middle of that, we played 3 shows, and then the pandemic hit, and that was pretty sad for us because those shows were mental.
Wow. So you did 3 shows on the AJR tour, and then it got shut down?
Yeah.
Wow. Where were you guys when it hit? Like, were you on the East Coast?
Well, we'd come back. It was like 3 kind of like rescheduled shows in January, and I think it picked back up in like April, the rest of the tour, like the 30 or whatever dates. So we had come back, and we were actually getting ready to go play South by Southwest when it like the news, like that was like our manager hit us up and was like, yo, South by is not happening anymore. And that is when we sort of realized that, oh wow, this is gnarly. Like if South by Southwest is getting canceled, like this is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, this is serious, right? I know. So you guys were home at this point. You had actually made it back to San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're home. And like I've talked to artists that were like stuck in another country, or like even if you're on the East Coast, that would have kind of been a nightmare to try to drive all the way back with no shows or whatever. I guess that's the silver lining. You're at least home in between.
No, totally. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so you're home now, and then when do you start? What do you guys do from there? Do you start writing this new EP?
Yeah, like
Trying to.
trying
Just
to.
really hard. We tried to do Zoom sessions and stuff, and it's just hard when you're just at home and staring at a wall. Like, what do you write about?
Right. It was so not inspired, I would imagine. Some people were, but I've talked to a lot of people who are like, dude.
And then Simon had gone back to New Zealand to visit his family for like 2 weeks, which turned into a year.
Oh, wow. Your family lives in New Zealand?
No, Simon's does. He's from New Zealand.
Yeah, Simon's our producer.
Oh, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so your producer moved to, okay, got you. Sorry.
Zoom sessions and all of that, and it was just really difficult. So we didn't get too much done, but we got a couple of really cool songs, and so yeah, it is what it is.
There was
Right
a lot
on.
of like funny memes I saw on Instagram that was like band memes being like, yo, like pandemic, like we're gonna write like 3 albums, like we have so much time. And then it was like end of pandemic, like, yeah, I didn't write anything. Let's start writing those albums. Kind of fell victim to that meme.
Yeah.
It's just the Zoom thing is so tough to write me. It's just tough. So
Were you guys able to be around each other at all? Like, at least play music together, or not really?
For like the first few months, it was like we kind of quarantined pretty heavily from each other.
Yeah.
Didn't
Mhm.
like, see each other for a while. But then like I think later in the summer we started like meeting up and stuff with each other.
Yeah.
Did you do any of those like live stream events or?
We kind of transformed the garage into like a little like live stream studio basically, where we were just kind of running it on our own and absorbing all the technical difficulties that came along with everything. And
How was that? I mean, was it cool to kind of, it was kind of a project, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, it was something to do, which is to be like, without sounding, but we didn't have our drummer. So we were like playing the drum tracks, which is, interesting. It was great. It was fine. And it gave us something to do and a way to like keep, hopefully building fans and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty brutal,
Okay.
It's a hot garage, and,
How often were you guys doing it?
God,
probably at least like
weekly.
once a week.
Yeah, once or twice a
sometimes
week.
more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And doing what? Just all your own original songs, or did you do covers? Like how did a
Yeah,
show look like? What did a show look like?
Yeah. Dawson says it well. He says we to the garage band.
Oh yeah. I'd always tell people like when we'd get on them, like we started like when we were doing like radio stuff and like meeting radio, like we started as a garage band. We went out for a few dates and we're back to being a garage band. So it was a very very interesting band.
Right.
There. So hopefully we go here and then back up.
You'll leave the garage again and then
Again.
make it back out to the
Leave it
real
twice.
world.
Maybe if you can leave the garage twice in your career, hopefully that's a good thing.
That's a good sign. So you guys released what, Live Forever, and recently Hailey Beebs or
Yeah.
Hailey Beebs.
Yeah. Live Forever was sort of
Beebs.
beebs. This is Growing Up is our latest single, and
Okay.
EP Till the End of Time is coming out next month. So we're really excited about it, and been just doing music videos and like getting the visuals all right for it, and yeah, it's exciting.
How do you? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Also, it's just nice. Simon, our producer's back, so it's just, we're actually meeting up together. Everybody's like vaccinated and whatnot, so we're creating for the future as well now. So it's exciting.
That's awesome. And what with the videos? How are those going? Like, I'm sure like during the pandemic you couldn't really shoot, so now stuff's like more opened up.
For the Live Forever shoot, I remember that one was still like pretty like COVID was still kind of it not in its peak, but like still very like, oh, can we even do this? Can we go outside? And So we shot that music video, but like it was all like safetied out and like, but that video went great. And then yeah, it's slowly gotten more and more like, okay, you know, let's get our little group of creatives together and just run out there and make stuff. So, but no, they've been going good, and it's been kind of the only way we've been able to create through the pandemic. You know, Luke was saying it's harder to write music, so being able to like create the visuals was pretty meaningful and nice for us as creatives to dive into that.
That's awesome. And you guys are on a bunch of rad festival shows this year, right?
Yeah.
That must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it'll be nice. I'm still tripping out. Like Lollapalooza's next month, and it's weird. Like we haven't played in front of people in so long. I'm just trying to like get my head around like people out there. So it'll be good. Hopefully we just take it back up quick.
Yeah, I mean, not only it's a huge festival, but and people haven't seen shows really in the past year and a half, but the amount of people that are going to be out and about, that's kind of wild to think about that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be good.
Yeah, well, you said you started as a garage band, left, and then back. Now you're leaving and doing like the biggest festivals in the planet. I mean, you have Bonnaroo scheduled, Lollapalooza.
Yeah, man, we're excited.
Have you ever been to any of those festivals before, or probably not played them?
No. The closest I've been, we were there not last year, but the year before, and we were riding bikes through the field where Lollapalooza is. Like, dude, this would be so cool to play here one day. And
that's true.
It was like a cool thing. So going back there when it's filled with people and we're playing it, will be a weird kind of moment.
That's amazing. And I'm stoked you guys are playing Bonnaroo, because that's about like an hour from where I'm at. So I'm gonna try.
You should come out.
I would love to. That's the plan. We're gonna try to come out there. Another band of friends of mine, and they are playing at the Struts, so I'm excited about that. So I was gonna plan on going out there anyway. So we're gonna try to figure out something.
San Diegans gotta represent, man.
Oh yeah, I mean it'd be cool to meet you guys and hang out. So we should plan that. And so cool. So the record comes out next month.
Yep. Yeah, the rest of the music from Till the End of Time is coming out with some visuals and everything. So we're excited, man. It's gonna be good.
That's really exciting. Have you played a show yet, or are these festivals gonna be the first in front of people?
We have this show in Fort Collins? Yeah, Fort Collins. Yeah, in Colorado. So we'll do that right before Lollapalooza. But besides that, no, we've just done. Actually, we did play something in the Belly Up, but it was our drummer was there, but it was to nobody. So this will be our first show with humans. Those shows.
Oh, did you do like a live stream for Belly Up or something?
Yeah, but and they have the whole thing where our drummer could come and we could actually play on the Belly Up stage. So that felt like a show with just our drummer and everything, but
it'll probably be a pretty emotional night, I would assume, at that show that you guys, I mean, the live one in front of people.
Yeah.
And you might be the first band a lot of these people have seen in a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing Thursday at Lollapalooza, so it's day one. So hopefully
it's exciting.
It's exciting.
Well, congratulations, guys, on all the success. When I first heard your record, like I said, in San Diego, when Tim was playing it and we added it, I know, as like you were a local break artist, and we'd play the record like a handful of times a day.
Yeah.
And we knew we're like this, like Tim, we all were like, this band is they're gonna do something, because there's a lot of bands we had as the local break artists, and I'm like,
no way.
But yeah, there was a few that I was like, okay, like this band is really gonna do something, and I'm so stoked to see that, the success that you guys have created, and obviously it's only gonna go up from there, especially with the shows you're playing and the music you're putting out. So
thanks,
I'm happy. You got to represent San Diego, like you said. I love that.
And we're trying to bring some love to San Diego.
I love it. I have one more question before I let you guys go.
Yeah.
I want to get an answer from all of you. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
This is super cliche, but I'm gonna say it because I have to remind myself. But just be yourself. It's so easy for you to just like look at every other like other people and what they're doing and feel like the pressure of like, you know, repeating success from others. But for us, I feel like something that's just been so helpful is continuing to like trust your instincts and what you can bring that's new. So yeah, be yourself. I know that's corny. I know you've heard it, but
I love it though. It's true.
It's rich, I think, in meaning.
I think when that was told to us and told to me, which was cool, is it's just everything's about the songs. So there's so many things you can like kind of think about and spiral and like overthink about, like how do we, you know, get the right shows or meet the right people or, you know, whatever. It's like if you have a good song and you keep writing good songs, then things will just take care of themselves.
Heck yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'd say try to like always try to keep yourself inspired by just consuming just other forms of art too, like movies, books. Like I think keeping yourself inspired is really important in order to create something just like that you're hyped about and like something interesting, I guess. But.
Yeah, so the EP's out. That's exciting. You know, finally get something out after the course of this whole pandemic. And you said it was difficult writing with Zoom, and you know, what are you most excited about with this album out now?
Yeah, no, it feels good. This EP, a lot of the songs from it are older songs, and there's a few also that are like newer. But no, we're stoked to have it out. The visuals were really fun to work on, and yeah, for Till the End of Time, we got to work on doing the music video with our really good friends Kelly and Jack, and we just kind of run and gunned this idea and ran out there and made this video. So no, but we're stoked, man. We're stoked that it's out, and we hope people are loving it and listening and, you know, enjoying.
Well, tell me about the video. Like, where did the concept come from?
Yeah, it came from this show called SpongeBob, and there's an episode. There's an episode where
I think we know SpongeBob. People know that one.
No, truthfully, it came from this episode where SpongeBob delivers pizza to this guy and goes on this crazy journey to deliver pizza, and like goes across the sea, I guess, for him. And yeah, goes on this journey and delivers the pizza, and the guy wears the drink. So we kind of wanted to do a spin on that idea.
Okay.
So traveling the country, and these guys are involved, and traveling the country and delivering a pizza, getting on a plane, going through the desert, getting on a boat. So yeah, that's sort of the idea behind it.
I love that. That's so cool.
No, it's exciting. Hopefully people get the reference. I'm curious to see, you know, in the comments and stuff if people can
put it together. It's not obvious that you took it from SpongeBob. It's just very subtle. Only SpongeBob fanatics will understand.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, hopefully people get the reference.
There's no little Easter egg in there, like you don't have like a SpongeBob T-shirt on, or
no, that would have been.
I did notice that you have a stripped down version of "This Is Growing Up" on the EP. Like, was that hard to, like, you know, rework that song at all?
Yeah, "This Is Growing Up" stripped. We had the original song is on the EP, came out as a single, and we went back and were writing for this project. So they liked the song, but they wanted us to kind of strip it out, and we made this new version of it, and it ended up liking. We didn't even really make it thinking we'd put it out, but we ended up really liking the version. So we ended up thinking it could be a cool like little bonus track on the EP. So yeah, excited. We actually shot it in San Francisco. I know you mentioned you lived there for a while, but
yeah, where at in San Francisco did you go to do it?
All over the place. We shot, well, day one while we were there. The first day we pulled up, we were at Haight
Ashbury.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were shooting, and we kept all of our camera gear in the car because we were stupid. And and yeah, and so day one we came back and did like a little shopping, like thrifting, and then we came back and all our camera gear was stolen, smashed in window, and so we had to figure out new camera stuff while we were there. But
oh my gosh, that's so awful.
No.
Oh my gosh.
We saw the video like a week later, and
security, yeah.
a security camera, and they'd come around like within a minute. I was walking away. And
Really? So
Yeah,
they
like they were watching us, dude. It was sus.
so you guys were shooting and somebody was watching you shoot, or you just rolled up and they just assumed that you had something in the car?
How they knew we had the gear, because the gear was in the back of the car and tinted, like fully tinted windows.
Uh-huh.
Somehow they knew exactly where to go and what bag to take. So
But you guys were using the equipment earlier during the day?
Well, no, we actually didn't even shoot anything yet. Like we weren't like out and about like shooting.
Yeah. And then I thought you were like out and about, and then you walk back to your car, and then you're like, okay, let's go like shop around.
Dude, that's why it was sketch, because this was the first day and we hadn't been around town. We were checked into the Airbnb, put our gear in, went to 8 Ashbury, and like literally got out. And you know, it was sus. It was sketchy. I don't know how they knew there was camera gear in there.
Oh my gosh, man, that's
Maybe they
awful.
Yeah, maybe they just smashed the window and were like stoked. They're like, oh shit, like there's a camera in here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could have been it, to be honest. I don't know. They're just like, wow. So then you just had to figure out a way to get a camera?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the camera is like one of a kind. Like,
Yeah.
it's like this really old film camera that's like, it's called a Bolex. I think it's from like the 70s or something.
Yeah.
50s.
50s, even older. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So our plan was to shoot on that camera, and so we had to find a replacement, and literally scoured the city and found like the one
Yeah,
Bolex
literally
in
one.
San Francisco. And
It wasn't at a pawn shop, was it?
No.
Like it's your camera again, like they already just
Yeah.
Oh
No.
man.
But anyway, so this is Growing Up Stripped. We did the visuals out there, and we liked the track enough to want to put it as a little bonus thing for people on the EP.
That's so
So-
cool.
Yeah, cool.
Bringing it backward.